What is Miraj, the Prophet Muhammad's ascension? Did our Prophet ascend to heaven? Miraj means ascension, rising to the sky. In the traditional interpretations, there is widespread acceptance that our Prophet ascended into heaven. Today, majority of Muslims believe that the Prophet ascended to the sky, and that after the ascension he met and talked there with God, and claimed that he returned with some gifts. The Miraj event is claimed to be explained with the event mentioned in chapter Isra. It certainly has nothing to do with the Isra affair. The reason is, as the name of Isra implies, night walk, night incident. The narrative of Miraj is nothing more than the dream of our Prophet at noon during daytime. The second one is the Miraj event as an incident that happened after the event of Israel. Whereas the narratives about Miraj is a dream much earlier than the time of Isra. But heaven knows why. One is at night and one is during the day. One is a dream seen 4 or 5 years before the incident of Isra, but then it was described as an event that followed the incident of Isra. Our Prophet has never ascended to heaven, and this claim is contrary to the Qur'an. Indeed, in Surah Al Isra, chapter 17, verse 93 and 94, if you look at the verses, the idolaters want our Prophet to go up into the sky, and the Qur'an says he did not go up to the sky in return. The Qur'an says that the Prophet has not ascended to the sky. Although the Miraj event had nothing to do with the Qur'an, this incident was claimed to be described as the incident within Isra. It is absolutely not true. This is the first thing I have to say. Secondly, the narratives about Miraj first appear in Ibn Ishaq, and the Miraj concept is not available in the early sources. The companions, Sahabah, did not know of such an event because it did not occur during the companions' period. This is not a matter of faith. This is an entirely narrative event. As I said in the beginning, it is nothing more than a dream that the Prophet sees, and it was later expanded and thought to be a real experience. Miraj narratives are inspired by the concept of ascension in Zoroastrianism, Judaism, and Christianity. The scope was expanded, and it is nothing more than a narrative adapted to the Prophet. As I said, our sources refer to a dream of the Prophet in his sleep at noon. According to the claim of the narrative, he requests from God, "Show me heaven and hell," and there is a rumor that the gates of the sky were opened. That's it. The narration was later exaggerated, embossed, and presented as an event experienced by our Prophet as in Zoroastrianism, Christianity, Judaism, with ascension motives. However, the same incident that is claimed to be experienced by our Prophet is the narrative of Ardaviraf, one of the apostles of Zoroastrianism. Ardaviraf has a journey to heaven and hell. When you think of the name Ardaviraf as our Prophet, you will realize that this describes the event of Miraj. It has so much resemblance. In the same way, the claim that our Prophet was raised from Jerusalem to heaven was inspired by Judaism. However, sources such as Bukhari, for example, have narrated that the Prophet was ascended directly from Mecca to heaven. There is no consistency between the rumors. For example, Muslim tells regarding Isra that our Prophet was taken from Mecca to Jerusalem, and immediately after that he ascended to heaven from Jerusalem. However, Bukhari does not accept this and does not see this as the truth. He claims that our Prophet was ascended to heaven unlike Isra. This has nothing to do with the event of Miraj and the incident of Isra. It is a fiction consisting entirely of narrations and claims. It is not based on the Qur'an, and it is not a matter of faith.